around $60,000. But what are the blokes worth?
Washing, ironing, cooking.
The floors, the cooking, the cleaning, the dusting.
I vacuum sometimes.
The daily battle begins in the bedroom.
What are you doing? You've missed it all.
That's all right like that. Who's going to see it?
And hots up in the kitchen.
I'll make a lunch. Adelaide.
I thought you were going to do something.
Yeah, I make lunch every day.
Lisa and Gino Catania have their own little army.
Ready for school. Sherry, you got to go to work.
Running this household is a full military operation.
I cook dinner.
I still cook dinner.
When?
Oh, probably once or twice a week.
When it's your turn to cook, we get takeout.
Like most working mums, Lisa says,
I do everything. Yeah.
including the worst job of all.
Nobody else would do this.
And dads?
What you'll notice is a bloke normally just picks stuff up and just puts it in another place. We don't actually put it away. That's good enough.
Dad does ironing sometimes. Well, he attempts it.
He never notices what I do, but always wants praise for what he does.
We do share it.
We do not. The men have been lifting their game over the last couple of decades in this regard.
Mark McCrindle is a social researcher. He says with more women returning to the workforce, more and more men are pitching in on the home front.
I think it's only fair, though, that the men do a bit more of the housework while doing the paid work, because that's what the women are doing.
He says while women still do about 30% more around the home, men have been closing the gap.
Men are now spending 8 hours per week on household duties. They're spending about 4 hours out in the backyard doing the garden per week, and they're also spending an increasing amount of time looking after the children and running the children around.
Speaking of housework, in 10 minutes we've got to pick up a daughter from kinder in Hawthorn.
So if you put a price to that, it's worth about $16,000 per year in unpaid work that the men are contributing around the household.
Someone should give me that much money. I might do a better job of it.
Mommy gets my breakfast. Daddy gives me salami and cheese for lunch.
Back at Lisa and Gino's, the domestic wrangling continues. So it's only fair to bring in an independent judge to decide who's worth what.
Look, no job's too small or too big for us to take on.
Peter White works for A Hubby and knows what professionals would earn doing your unpaid odd jobs. Making beds pays $40 an hour.
See, I am pulling my weight.
And according to Peter, so does mopping floors.
Sadie, the cleaning lady.
And that blokiest of blokes' jobs, taking out the rubbish, also pays $40 an hour.
Back at the business. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it.
Okay, so sometimes we run out of food and I have to go shopping again.
Grocery shopping is $45 an hour, while you'd earn $55 making the kids' breakfast or cooking dinner. Sadly, taking out the kitty litter only pays $40 an hour, but surprisingly, driving kids around would pay a handsome $95 an hour.
Who's doing more work here?
Right, I thought it was interesting. Obviously, Lisa does a lot more. She does practically 24 hours in a week working around the house. Gino, a bit over 10.
Ooh. Now who's the breadwinner?
But this is where it gets interesting.
A lot of the things that Gino does are things that if you hired someone in, you'd pay them a lot more money to do that. Things like driving the children around. Well, if you're going to hire a driver, that's going to cost you a lot of money.
It's an easy job.
I can be a limo driver.
Get him doing the mopping.
Lisa's unpaid homework is worth $1,200 a week. That's $62,400 a year on top of her salary. While Gino's weekly worth around the home is $588, about $30,500 a year.
So the message here is Gino's doing the higher paid jobs, he just needs to do more of them.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm sure that will be music to Lisa's ears. Gino, do you think you might consider taking out the kitty litter?
Yeah, take out the kitty litter in the morning. It only takes a few minutes, so if it makes a big difference, it's worth it.
Hey, Lisa.
How much is that worth an hour, by the way?
Hang on, wait.